personal story. It's really straight from my heart. And, you know, if it touches people's hearts, then that means a lot to me. A lot of people have articulated that it's cliche Southern Gothic, but, you know, I think that there's something, there's a truth, a deep truth in the South, that there's something mythic in the dysfunctions of our world, and there's something really beautiful in our desire to wrestle them, and that's really what I'm doing, is wrestling with the dysfunctions of this world of the South that I grew up in. She wanted this role. Well, it was interesting because one of my producers said to me, "What about Dakota-Fanning?" And I'm like, "Well, sure, if you can get her, but there's no way we're going to get her. You know, War of the Worlds, it's just come out, you know." And they sent her the script with a letter from me, and I didn't think another thing about it. I went about my business trying to keep raising money for the film. And I get a call 2 months later saying, "Dakota wants to do it. Can you fly out tomorrow?" And I flew out. And you never know. Like, I didn't know if she'd be right for the role or not, but I thought she would. But I walked in, and the moment I met her, I knew. There's something about her presence, the depth. So I walked in the room, and we just connected on such a deep level from the moment we met. And I think it's because she loved this character as much as I love this character. And through that, we just had this profound connection. And it was a wordless connection, a very intuitive connection. And, you know, as soon as I met her, I knew there was a presence she had, this amazing depth of presence. And it was like we took each other's hand and walked into this world together and walked through this world together. We did not let go until we got to the other side. And it was an incredible journey. As I was writing the song that had to go. You know, after there was a moment, an intense moment, then I wanted this boom of Elvis and fun, and, you know, like the exuberance of youth that Elvis represented, and that exuberance of her spirit and of nature, it all felt right to me. So when I wrote it, it was just, you know, what I wrote. And then as the years went on and I got closer to making it, and I'm suddenly aware of, oh, this is going to be hard. I was like, well, I'll change the songs later, because right now they have to stay here for everyone working on it. Later we'll change the songs. Well, then when I got Dakota attached, her movement coach, who loved the script, and called me one day, and she said, "You know, Deborah, do you know who Bud Carr is?" I'm like, sounds familiar. He's the biggest music supervisor. He's done every single one of Oliver Stone's films, and he's done like 90 features, big features. She said, "I talked to him about the project, and he's interested." He pulled so many favors for me. I mean, the music is a big part of our budget, but I could never have gotten these rights without him. He took the film to the Presley estate and sat down and showed it to them. And, you know, when all the controversy was going on, they were like, well, Elvis was pretty controversial himself, you know. He'd approve of this, you know. But Bud pulled every single favor. Well, I think, you know, there's so many layers. I think one of the things that was really important to me was this idea of, here's this girl who has found music to really express the pain and rage in her life, and it's her safe haven, and it's the place she can go to and hear herself. But in the beginning, she's using a white man's voice. You know, she's using Elvis's voice. And then Charles introduces her to this idea of Big Mama Thornton. And wait, a woman sang this first and sings it different. And I loved that no one knows of this. Like, even Jill Scott, who performs it in the film, she was like, wow, I didn't know that. No one knows that Elvis stole someone else's song that was a woman, that was a black woman. And he's the one who went on to, you know, well, he didn't end so well himself, but Big Mama Thornton died in poverty. Nobody knows who she is. And there was something about that was so compelling to me. And in the end, you know, Llewellyn, when Charles pushes her to sing, and she reconnects to her true voice instead of Elvis's voice, and her true power, and she reclaims her spirit, then she's able to turn and walk away from this world that can hurt her. Connected to her true voice, she can turn and walk away, even though she loves her daddy. That was part of what was so compelling for me, was that all the layers of Big Mama and Elvis and Nan's voice instead of her voice and then her voice. I think that music, the blues, it's like the ultimate embodiment of sorrow and grief and of telling a story in order to heal oneself. It's when we tell our stories that we start to heal. If Dakota is shamed for telling this story, what message does that give to our daughters and our sisters? There's an epidemic of this abuse in our culture. What message does it send to them about breaking the silence? If she's shamed for telling a fictional story, what is going to happen to them when they tell the truth? What message are we giving everyone when we're saying it's bad to tell your story? It's bad to tell the truth. It's bad to sing your song. And it's not just necessarily victims of sexual assault or rape. It is that we are silenced. Our stories are silenced. And I think we can all identify with something important being taken from us. I think we can all identify with our voices being silenced on some level and having to reclaim, our voice and our story. I didn't set out to make a social commentary, but as this has become such a controversial film and so many social commentaries are being made about it, I hope that it will, in fact, bring some issues to light. I think these are issues that are really important for us to talk about. I think that, as I said, by Dakota taking on this role, she gives voice to millions of silenced women and girls, and I think it's great that these issues are being brought to light, even though it wasn't my intention. Maybe as an artist, it's not ideal for me in my film, but I think other things have evolved out of this whole Hounddog phenomenon.
It was a time when life was simple.
Well, I got you something.
What'd you get me?
Sacred and bloody.
Daddy!
When exploration led to discovery.
Whoa!
Wow. Yeah.
Hey! Always use a stick.
Plenty of time before you need to be growing up.
Yes, ma'am.
When innocence fueled imagination.
Is your girlfriend?
My name's Ellen.
You could be like my mom and dad.
But life
Come on in here out of the rain.
Gotta get my Elvis ticket!
can change in a moment.
Think God will strike you down for your sins.
No, Missy, I don't.
Think God will strike you down for someone else's sins. Oh my God, you scared me.
Please, dear Lord, don't let her die.
The devil put the sinners here and they gotta be got rid of. I'm a sinner.
You won't come in here with me?
Yes, ma'am. You ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no